And if these sideburns get any longer, I can definitely start using them as bookmarks. You know, when I was coming up through the so-called ranks in data, there was one kind of silly joke that I always used to say. It's that I have an MBA. It's not the acronym you think it is. For me, it was a master's at buying from Amazon. I love buying books, work-related books, like I mentioned in a previous video. There's a complete web monitoring from Sean Power and Alistair Kroll. It really taught me a lot, and it helped me kind of expand my knowledge around how to get creative with data to really start making it more actionable. Well, today I don't want to do any book reviews because I'm not good at book reviews. I take reading very personally, and the insights that I gain from books, I find it hard to share because I never think that I can properly communicate the insights that I've gained from books to other people. So I'd rather buy someone the actual book and say, hey, I recommend this book instead of actually telling them myself. Um, do I only read workbooks? No. So I mean, I am going to plug two writers here, two of my favorite books. There's one called writer called Michael Stephen Fuchs, if I remember correctly. He's got the Arisen series. It's post-apocalyptic. It's never-ending, actually. And the other one is James S.A. Corey, if I remember. Yeah, James S.A. Corey from the Expansion, from the TV show. Read the book if you got it. Anyway, that's the fun side. Well, fun side, data is fun. That's the personal recommendations out of the way. Let's focus on data. So the books that I kind of want to recommend to you today are there 7 books. I'm going to go over them real quickly, and just more name dropping than actually going too in depth on the contents. The first 2 books that I want to cover are from 2 people that I enjoy talking with online, and I just have to give them a quick plug here. The first book is Good Data to Growth by Arpit Chowdhury. It's a digital book, so I don't have a physical copy, but of course I am going to put the cover right here. If you know Arpit and the blog articles that he's written on Data Beats, you know the quality of the content is going to be good. Because of that, the day that he announced that he was going to be writing a book, I immediately purchased a copy, and it has not, how do you say it? It has not, money well invested. Has not disappointed. That's the word I'm looking for. See, this is what it takes to make a video. I don't want to do, cuts here and there. This is me. Too many things going on in my mind. So it definitely did not disappoint. It talks about how to, not to do it, but it's more around ideas of getting better data out of your various sources and making sure that you can put them to use to gain growth within your organization as well from that data. If you have any doubts about, again, I'm not going too in depth. I think Arpit's reputation is solid. If you have doubts about it, go check out his blogs. It's definitely worth buying that book. The second book is from another guy that I met a few months ago, maybe a half year right now on LinkedIn, Timo de Show. Thank you, Timo, also for the quick call that we had to kind of maybe convince me, or at least to talk about doing videos like this. So this one, I'm going to dedicate this video to you, especially just for that listening ear, and giving me the confidence to go out there, and even if I make mistakes or stutter or ramble on incoherently in my videos, just that I will probably do in this video. Thank you. So his book, Event Data, also very, it's a digital book. The cover up here, as a reminder to myself, is also a great book. So where Timo excels in his Event Data book is that he kind of tells you, or doesn't tell you, he kind of shows you that by taking a step back and looking at the data that you're collecting at an event level, he will try to explain to you what, to kind of look better at your data payloads, what the naming structures, the values that you're passing through, but also what is the end game of the data that you're collecting. Should be collecting everything? Can you work more focused on the data that you have? So only available digitally. I believe from the last update that I got, he's actively working on this. I think the last update was around 2 weeks ago. It's still work in progress, but if you purchase now, the information, the insights you'll gain will definitely help up your game immediately. So, getting back to the physical books, and this is a funny one that I want to share with you. Hello, First Name by Rasmus Hulund and fellow Dutchman Frans Riemersma. I'll just take the book away out of the screen because I want to put up a screenshot of an email that I got from LinkedIn. That just kind of, it was funny that even big enterprise companies make mistakes in doing personalization in emails. But yeah, where Rasmus excels in, and Frans, and I'm not sure the complete how what the split is on the effort on this book, but I do want to give a shout out to Rasmus's YouTube channel because sometimes I'm not in the mood to read. Sometimes I like listening to podcasts or watching videos on the topic of data. Rasmus does have a YouTube channel, and a lot of the content in this book is actually based on the content that he's generated there. So personalization, yeah. Is it a data book? I think it is, because in a lot of the work that I do as a CDP consultant, personalization is one of the end games that we work towards. And data plays a huge role in that. I know it's not the only one. There are other ways for activating data, or different destinations for ETL, things that you can do with your data. But personalization plays a big role in that. And as I'd like to label myself a generalist in a sense. I feel that diving into these topics like personalization as a CDP consultant will definitely help you understand and define your data strategy a whole lot better. Now that's a nice segue into the fourth book that I want to talk about here by Chiang-Kai Feng, Humanizing Data Strategy. Not much I can say about this book right now because I haven't read it. This is a book that I got last, I believe, Friday. It's Monday now. And with four kids, school holidays, I do not get a lot of time to sit down and read this with ease. So I did buy the Kindle version and the Audible version for in the car. You're welcome, Chiang-Kai, to pick this up when I am driving my kids everywhere, or late in the evening when I still have a small smidgen amount of energy to pick up my Kindle and read it there. But why did I buy this? Chiang-Kai comes across as a very humble guy on LinkedIn. He's not very actively pushing his book a lot. I think a lot of the people who read it and in his who are in his atmosphere or in his circles are doing that work for him. And I really love the topic of humans in data. You have the Humans of Martech, great podcast. By the way, great name, a fantastic name. And there's also another book from a friend who I think is a few years old now, who talks about the people skills for analysts and how to talk to analysts and get more on the human side of things. And I also, when I saw a message on LinkedIn, I believe it was last Wednesday or Thursday, somebody wrote, in Martech, with data, we are using, as humans, we are using tools written by humans. So even though data is fully digital, there are a lot of technologies being developed today to automate a lot of the work that we as humans do. There is still a lot of human influence in our daily lives, in our work, and in our goals that we set for life. So I'm really looking forward to reading this book, to kind of get away. I hope it gets away a lot more from the technology and dives into the human factors of our daily work. Now, there are two more books that I kind of quickly want to cover here. So as somebody maybe said, hey, where are the CDP books? Great question. They are few and far between, unfortunately. There are two books that I have right here in front of me that cover the topic of CDPs to the extent where you can actually call them CDP books. I know Daryl Alfonso has the book, the Martech Handbook. I've got it right here on my desk. It does cover the topic of CDPs, but not to the extent where you can say, hey, buy this book for CDP purposes. The first one I got last year at an event in London from Seth Familian. He works over at Twilio Segment, and it's called Customer Data Maturity. I did a small a small post on LinkedIn after I'd read it. So the kind of the thin red line between this one, or the what's connecting this one to the next book, is that they are both supported, or they are both from vendors. This one's from Twilio Segment, so a lot of the content that you'll read in this book around CDPs, or definitely this, how to go through the customer data maturity lifecycle, is focused at the end. When you look at the screenshots and everything is focused around Segment. If you can read through that, kind of read through the, read between the lines, it's definitely a good book to help you understand on using CDPs to increase customer data maturity within the organization, getting more value out of it, and being more focused on your data strategy. So highly recommended. I've got the physical version here because I went to an event and I met the guy. You can get the PDF by just filling out a lead form, but it's definitely worth a read. I'll see if I can still find the link to this and add it to the post or the comments. So we're getting there to the two to go. The last physical book that I have, because the last book that I'll be discussing hasn't even been released yet, is Customer Data Platforms. Well, if a book is about customer data platforms, it's definitely advertising it. If you understand the color scheme, and if you've seen who the writer is, Martin Kihn, here at the top, you understand that this is a Salesforce flavored book. Is it any good? Yes, it's definitely good. It is, in my view, even if it's 3 years old. The first time I started working with CDPs is around 8 years ago now, 7 or 8 years ago. But this book is 3 years old. It is still relevant because it gives you a general overview of what CDPs are. It's the CDP 101 course colleges or universities would be teaching if there were CDP courses. Martin, maybe that's a good idea for you to sponsor some of these courses. It talks about a lot of topics. And again, I'm going to cheat here and look at the notes past the camera here. So there is, they talk about leveraging consent to build first-party data assets. Very important because that's one of the key roles around CDPs. Although it does slightly touch on ad tech, DMPs, everything. The huge focus here, in my opinion, around CDPs is that we're moving. Google tried to say that we were moving to a first-party data world, but we're still not there. But it's time to get on that hype train and get started. This book will definitely walk you through it. So they talk about the leveraging consent, the journey orchestration. There is how to organize your customer data. But more importantly, at the end, there's a small chapter around AI and machine learning. Now, I'm going to use that as a segue into the last book, which hasn't been published yet. And that book is also Salesforce Focus, Agent Force. And the authors there, again, are Martin Kihn and I have to cheat here, Andrea Chen Lin. I might edit there, might not. Those pauses are a little bit awkward at times. Anyway, so I did a 2-3 minute look at Agent Force, which is the Salesforce new product. And from what I understand, it is a customer agent support agent tool that allows marketers and support agents to leverage customer data through the use of AI and machine learning to build out audiences, campaign content, to maybe plug into existing chatbot systems to deliver data, contextual data for that user's, let's say, next recommended product, or understand their position in the customer life cycle. Is this person looking to buy a new product today? Are they in an awareness phase, etc.? So Agent Force should be plugging into this. Now, I did see that a year ago in a presentation from Segment where they did something like that, but that was just on paper. It was still hypothetical at the time. I believe they're working on it to actually get this rolled out. So the example that they had there was a user who was interested in buying some running shoes, and the chatbot would come up and say, hey, we've seen that you have interest in running shoes. We've got a great offer on these green running shoes for $129.99. The visitor to the website interacts with the chatbot. They say, hey, thank you, but my favorite color is blue. Do you have them in blue? And the chatbot behind the scenes would extract that information that the visitor's favorite color is blue and add that as an attribute to the user's profile for use later down in the process, which I found fascinating. I hope, like, if somebody from Salesforce is watching, if Agentforce can do something like that, I'd love to get a demo sometime. So please, let's connect and let's get that scheduled. Because I do believe from all the hype that I've seen online around AI agents, it'll be interesting. I'm not going to say it is going to be the golden ticket. Proof is always in the pudding, but I am open to the idea of enabling that customer data at this level. It's going to be truly fascinating if you ask me. And I hope to give you an update on that when the time comes. Anyway, that's that's more than 15 minutes of me taking your time today. I want to thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts, or especially book recommendations around data or customer data. Maybe I missed a few. I'm only human. Leave a comment down below, and I look forward to connecting with you guys digitally. All right, bye.